Kings Park Psychiatric Center is often described as a perfect setting for a horror movie. Hundreds of people died there. This asylum at its peak in 1950s reached over a population of 9,000 residents, who were divided by gender, age, and physical limitations through a complex of over 100 buildings. They had everything they needed to live in a community, like having their own farms, slaughterhouses, fire stations, repair shops, and even water towers, and many more. Kings Park was notable for staying on the cutting edge of psychological science, cementing its place in history as an early adapter of a succession of new procedures and medications. Although back then a lot of procedures that they thought were right were actually wrong, and it hurted a lot of the patients. One example was shock therapy. Back in the 1940s, they were fully conscious, strapped to hospital beds when in use. They actually used such high doses of electricity, their bones broke. They didn't even use muscle relaxers or anesthesia either. One other horrible procedure they did was called lobotomy. They took a metal tool and inserted it through the eye socket and wrenched it around their brain to cut connections of the prefrontal cortex from the rest of the brain, leaving them as zombies, having no trace of their former selves. Around the mid-1950s, the development of an antipsychotic medication began. For the first time, patients who were considered hopeless were able to control their illness and were no harm to others. America learned a lot of their ways of treating patients were wrong, and their operations mostly hurted them in the end. Lots of patients were also mistreated, and most asylums were hit with lawsuits as time went on. Eventually, Kings Park and many other asylums all closed around America around the 1990s. As of today, many of the buildings still stand, but lots of them are in the process of being knocked down. But it will take years before they're all gone. So right now we're in probably one of the tallest buildings in this campus. There's only about 20 buildings left, but for those 20 buildings that are left, they are huge, giant. Like, I couldn't explore this place in one day if I wanted to. But we're in this building, this particular building we're in now, is the tallest one. And this is where they pretty much, this was like the housing for all the patients they to live in. Not only that, they housed many old people and many people with chronic like illnesses that lasted their whole lives. And that was pretty much going on here. It's just so crazy being here now. Like, I'm inside this building, knowing that so much history is here. I mean, right now I'm in like their bed where people were sleeping. Let's go, come on, let me show you guys. Let's do it. Ooh. Like, I'm just walking the hallways of this place. All the beds, shelves is just thrown here now. But surprisingly, all this is still here. Like I said, this place opened up in the late 1800s. And to see all this still here is still amazing. But I'm sure this eventually will be knocked down. The reason why this place is not knocked down is because it would take such large amounts of money to clean it up properly because of the asbestos and everything here.
Looks like they're serving lunch here. Wow, look at those elevator doors. Completely rusted. Damn, it's actually kind of scary in here. Everywhere I turn and look, there's just another way to go to. It's a freaking maze. I feel like I've seen it all already, but I know I haven't even been inside this room. This room looks like the other bedroom we were in, but it's not. It's a totally different one. But there's going to be a lot of beds in this place. This was the housing area, like I said, to hold the patients. This building is also, by the way, 13 floors, but it's wide and huge, too. It's like a freaking tower. Whoa. Someone lit the whole bed on fire. Luckily, the whole place didn't catch on fire. That's what happens, man. Teenagers come in, they just light things on fire. You see it on the news all the time, the asylums and everything. Anything abandoned just catches on fire because of stupid kids. I like this graffiti art. Yep. One of the cool things about being inside old abandoned buildings is that there's a lot of documents still left here. And here's an example. Look how old these cars are. Imagine you pick up one of these papers, you're like, oh, I'm trying to buy a car, and this is the cars you see. It's like going back in time like a good 20 years. This one's interesting. Michael Jackson's moonwalk over McCartney. That's pretty awesome, because this is going way back. I think we're on floor 4. I'm not really sure. I'm just going around exploring. It's all pretty much the same. Just looking inside to see if I can find any documents left here. Like those newspapers we just found. Alright, so here's the top. Wow. This is pretty cool though. You're in the attic. A lot of people said to be careful here though. Guess you can like just fall right through. Well, we're on the roof now. But just to show you guys how big this building is. I mean, look, doesn't it look like a hotel? It goes far down, man. But we chilling up here, having fun.
Oh yeah, we up here.
Yeah. And really, everything's pretty much gutted, either stolen or just sold. But I kind of expected it. But I had to still come here because thing is, if I didn't come here, I would have been thinking about it for the rest of my life. Like, oh, and then they would have knocked this place down. I would have never seen it. So I'm happy I still got to see it regardless. So at the moment, we're in Building 7 now. We just teleported to Building 7. Look what we found. Now, we're on like the second floor of Building 7, but this place is massive too. Look at this, so we can keep looking. If it wants to focus. I don't know if it's gonna focus. There it goes. Look at that, the X-ray. I'm gonna turn this bad boy on. I'm bringing the radiation. I'm going, cranking it all the way. Bucky 2, baby. Bam! Makes some powerful noises. It does its thing. There is the actual X-ray machine. It's probably the last equipment inside this building for all we know, but we'll keep searching. And look at that, we got unexposed and exposed. Oh, you're right, John. Now, Building 7 is where they did all like the medicine work, all the treatments, all operations. That went down inside this building. But you can pretty much tell this is an old hospital just by looking at how the rooms are shaped and how it is, the form of it. Still though, it's really bad in here. Nothing left. Some of this stuff is where they stored like pretty much Band-Aids, or needles, and who knows, alcohol wipes, peroxide, pretty typical area. Medicines probably were in there too. And Building 7 also has a morgue, and we found the morgue. So, let's go show you the morgue. You know, this trip is worth it now because at least we found the morgue. Look at this. Look at this. So all these were where the bodies were stored in. They were frozen inside here. I wonder how many bodies were literally laying on this thing right here. How many bodies do you think were laying on here? Who knows? But all these are just all where the people would be. All frozen. That's so freaky, man. Here we go. And this one, this table, you know, actually they just threw boards over there, but it's just, it's insane. At least we found some kind of cool stuff around here still. Man. Imagine though, like just taking it out and this pulling out the body. Man, this, wow. These look like all biohazard bags. Oh yeah, we just have to biohazard bags. Whoa! Infectious waste. So here's Building 7's lunchroom. A lot more wider. Probably serves a lot more food. Everybody sat right here. So you ready to go inside this huge, massive building that probably has nothing inside?
Ready to go. Always down.
What about you?
I'm ready to find nothing, but this is what it is.
Okay, let's get a cool walking shot together. We're all gonna walk in. Let's do it! The grass is pretty overgrown here. That is the coolest though, right there, with all the moss and vines growing right over the tower. I think this is the coolest building though. I do like the building. Architecture is good.
That's cool. You can either go this alleyway or that way. I'll take it this way. Actually, this is like a freaking maze. I already lost John and Danny. Oh well. I'll find them later. I'll just scream their name or something. What the heck? Well, that's interesting. We got some patients' clothes. Full of dust now and debris. Some of their old shoes too. Looks like it was like a secret wall, like a secret building. Gotta go in. Well. Oh, old stuffed animal. What? They're suitcases. Ooh, look at this chest. Wow. Look at that, all their old suitcases. Somebody got here way before me. I would have been able to get to explore. This is awesome. This is the kind of stuff I like. Like, seeing old people's belongings. That's what I like to find too. I think those are interesting. Look at these shoes. Whew. So I decided to climb to the top of the place, and it looks like we're in like a fort. Everything is connected. And it looks really cool though.
I love this outro out right here.
Yeah.
Dude, we've seen the biggest spider.
Where I seen a spider too, and I was like, oh my god.
It was like this.
Look at that, this is the direct middle. Who knows how nice, it could have been set up pretty nice before. Look how just all the trees just overgrown it. It could have been like a nice area people used to walk and just relax. Not anymore. So we're on the roof of the last building, and like I said, this was gonna be our last building of exploring, so we're done here for the day. We explored about a good 4.5 hours. Took us a long time to even drive over here. We wake up every morning, we're like, okay, let's drive 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours, or even 4 hours just to go to these abandoned places because that's what we love to do, and that's the, you know, it's all about the history. We want to document it, we want to keep it here in some kind of form or way, and because, you know, before you know it, this whole place is going to be knocked down and there'll be nothing here, and you'll never even know this existed in the next 10 years, or the next generation will never know. And that's why we make our videos, but it's also, you know, the fun of it too, seeing the old past and history and the items that still left there. It's like, wow, like this is amazing, you know, it's mind-blowing. But yeah, I had a good day today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe to Danny, subscribe to John. I'm out of here. You already know who I am. Keep watching. I'm taking over. Muscles, muscles.